What's up everyone, Diogo Tarini here. Welcome to another video here on my channel. First things first, I'd like to apologize. I haven't really done any videos for the past 2 weeks, I believe. The reason being, I have been crazy busy with some edits. I'm really sorry. I feel that I have to apologize because normally, or at least my first idea was to make a video every week, but then I decided not to make a video every week and make as many videos as I can, my free time, my spare time. And going back to the main reason that I am here today I'm not as busy as I was last week, so I can make a video and I'm pretty sure will be interesting for you guys. So today I'm going to speak about the cheapest way you can light a scene, you can light your vlog, you can light your YouTube channel videos for almost nothing, or let's say a tiny bit of money. So I guess in the beginning of everyone's career, we never really know what exactly we need to buy. We buy a camera, we buy a lens, we buy a microphone, extra cards, extra batteries. We never really know where to put our money first, because obviously no one really is a millionaire apart from the people who are millionaires. But in that case, I think they're not really an indie filmmaker starting and kind of thinking where to put that money, if you know what I mean. So, as we all know, there are a gazillion types of lights out there, from £50 to God knows when I'm gonna be able to afford that type of light, pounds. And when I say that, I'm serious. Arri, for instance, they make crazy good lights, but they are absolutely impossible to afford. I mean, that's the main reason that loads of people out there rent. They choose renting instead of buying, because it's a lot cheaper to just rent once if you need that type of light, rather than just buying that light, getting stuck with that and always having to use it. Not necessarily having to use it, but if you spend, I don't know, £10,000 on a light kit, you're gonna probably try to use as much as you can. What you can also do when you purchase lights like Arri or other crazy expensive ones, you can always rent it out. But I'd say to avoid the trouble of having to rent it, I think the best way to even try something new is to rent it. But in the end, it all comes down to your budget. Let's say you're working on a small production and you don't have a lot of money. What should you do? I would say, obviously, do some research, how much that camera shop that you have in your city charges to rent that type of light. Obviously, first, make sure that you know the type of lights that you need. But then, once you get that sorted, I would say, just go out there. Maybe you have a couple of shops in your city, ask them how much it would cost for them to rent it for the weekend or for the week. Normally, the more days that you spend with the kit, the less it will cost you on a daily basis. But if you just need for a couple of days, just ask them how much they would charge so you can test them and, you know, get used to them and see if that works for you. Normally, you can rent, for instance, from Arri or from other companies out there. You can rent the cameras, you can rent the lights, you can rent lenses, you can rent pretty much anything that there is in the market. So I would suggest you to first, if you're gonna try something new, don't buy it, rent it. I bought many things, I don't regret, but I think I was pretty lucky. On the other hand, if I was going to go back to the beginning of my career, I would definitely rent. It's a lot cheaper. If you don't like something, you can just give it back at the end of the weekend. You don't have that trouble to get stuck with that camera or with that lens and having the trouble to taking pictures of it, putting it on eBay or Amazon or whatever website you use to sell your products. So just rent it. Another thing that I want to point out is today, because I'm showing you a product in a few moments, I'm not using that same product because I don't have two. I'm not using on my window. So if overexposed, I am really sorry. It's just because the sun decided to come out, and that never really happens here in the UK. But today, it decided to do. Right, so the main reason that I am presenting this product today here, and just for disclosure, I haven't been paid by anyone. I just like the product, and it's not a specific brand. It's just like a random brand, but I think that they are pretty much the same. They all come from China, and they all work great. If you're starting your YouTube channel or beginning the filmmaking career, I think that is really important that you make the most out of everything that you have. If you don't have anything yet, as I said, rent it first, make sure that you like it, make sure that you adapt to that piece of equipment, and then if you do have the budget, buy it. But I'd say in the beginning, don't spend the money on equipment, spend the time to get creative, spend the time in your creativity, because when you do that, you minimize your cost a lot. I think that it's really important to spend the time studying, if online or if you want to go to film school or whichever way you want to study. I think it's important for you to do that, to understand the basics of it. You don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to know every single bit of filmmaking, but I think it's great for you to understand the basics, and then you can use those basics when making a purchase. So despite of all this crazy amount of different types of light sources, LED panels, HMIs, strobes and lamps and candles and all this crazy amount of sources or resources that you have out there, I would recommend you to use the biggest and best, in my opinion, source of light. And the best, it's free. Who doesn't want to use free light, especially when it's the biggest? Boom. Yeah, I'm talking about the sun. The sun is, in my opinion, the best looking light ever. Obviously, there are some geniuses out there that can use artificial light to reproduce the sunlight or any other light that you need, but in my opinion, is the most pleasant looking light ever. It's normally available for you for about 10 hours every day, from the time that you wake up to the time that you're probably gonna have dinner. So you have, obviously depending on what region on the planet you are, you have an average of 8 to 10 hours of sunlight with great variations from soft in the beginning of the day, and then you have some harsh lights by 12 o'clock. Hang on, there is a police driving past, or an ambulance, I don't know. Can you guys hear? I can still hear, I don't know if you can hear. Right, I think we're good. So you have soft light in the beginning of the day, harsh light in the middle of the day, 12 o'clock normally, not for every single country out there, but normally you have a harsh light by 12 o'clock, and then towards the end of the day you have soft light again with some great different colors, again depending on where you are. But you've got the golden hour, which is the orange looking light, extremely great to add some really good image silhouettes and all those kind of type of crazy traveling, blogging, vlogging, looking beautiful people there on the beach or the cityscape. You see that great sun coming up or setting there. It's just beautiful. So I would definitely suggest you to use the sunlight first. But obviously it all depends on your story. So if your film is in the evening, you might not be able to use the sun as your main light. There are some techniques that you can use. You shoot day for night, and then you change that in post. That is doable. Maybe you can make a tutorial about that in the future, but for now, let's make your videos just during the day. That makes your pocket a little bit more untouched, if you know what I mean. Now, we have our main source of light. It's free. So technically, this is a free, completely free light for you, as I'm using now, for your videos. However, if, I'm gonna give an example now, if the sun is direct in your face, that's a problem. That's gonna create really, really harsh shadows on your face because the sun is really strong, the sunlight is really strong, so you may have problems with that. So the example is here, look. Overexposed, sort of exposed, overexposed, sort of exposed. So to fix that problem, normally what I use up on my window is, yeah, it's a black bag. But in this black bag, I'm gonna show you something that may save your lives. It is, ta-da, a foldable reflector. So you have, this one is probably about a meter, 1.70 meters, I guess, by the meter. It's foldable, showed you that bag. It costs probably about 25, 30 pounds here in the UK. No idea how much it costs in America, but it's absolutely great. So I'm just gonna stand up and show you how it works. So you have this area here, which is overexposed. Then you, ta-da! You basically have 5-in-1 reflector. So it works pretty much like this. So if I want to reflect some golden light, you can do it as such. It actually reminds me of the sun. If you want to just bounce the light that you have pure white, so you can do the same here, and you'll probably like face here. I can see my walls are all white because of this, and you have 3 other sides, and one of them is silver. So you have that silver bounce. You can bounce that light and make it all pretty silver. Or you also have the black side. The black side is pretty useful as well when you want to actually eliminate light. So if you have direct light, you have the black side, and you, instead of bouncing random white or golden or silver light, you completely get rid of the light. So that is great as well. But what I want to show you the most is if the zip helps me here, is helping me now, I'm sorry, is this. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's basically the same material that they use for soft boxes. So what I normally do, I get this here, beautiful, on my window, and I clamp them with, hang on a second, because I didn't think of that before I started the video. 1 second. Clamps. So I use that on my window to block, to diffuse the sunlight, and I just add this big boys here because my window is high up, so I need to just put it there. I can't really wedge it in with anything else, but if these are not required for your setup, so if you have one of those, you can use maybe shoes or chairs or something to just place, to lean against your window and make sure that it's stable, and just leave it there. You see, my ear is overexposed now, so it's actually a great example. Let me see if I can put this up, and you are going to see a little difference, hopefully, for the cheapest light setup. Give me a minute. Right, I don't even know if I'm in focus or not because I can't see anything because I was looking directly at the sun, but I guess you can see. Sorry guys, I just interrupted by the guy who is reading the electrics and the gas. Sorry, but anyway, before I had that up on my window, you could see a really harsh light here, especially in my right ear, and that kind of disappeared, and it created a more evenly lit face, if you will. The sun is moving that way, so it's just going like this. So that's why I normally have to do my videos in the morning, because the sun is on the other side, and I have a more evenly softer light. However, because the sun is there now, I have to just put that up. It creates a softer light, and I think a more pleasant look, at least in my opinion anyway. I might actually be super overexposed. That's fine. I think you guys got it right. Good. So basically, this is the cheapest way that I find to light a scene, like your vlogs, your YouTube channel videos. Maybe you're shooting outside and your talent is just standing up, maybe a dialogue or something. You have your assistant holding one of those up, just, you know, just to block the sunlight, and that is solved. The problem is solved. Obviously, you can control with ND filters. You can control with, depending if you want your depth of field to be shallow or deep. You can control with your aperture, with your ISO, but sometimes you just want to have a more pleasant, softer light on your talent or on your talents. And I find that this is the best for its price solution. And just to let you know, you don't always have to buy a giant diffuser like this. There are some other solutions out there. I have another smaller one, but I don't know what it is. And I also have this small one that would, it's not a diffuser, but it would bounce light, maybe for faces. Is a good idea because it's quite small. So one side you have a white, and on the other side you have the gray 18%, if I'm not wrong, gray card. So if you need to bounce some light, maybe, you know, you're doing a close-up and you need something like this, so you can, oh my God, the sun is so there. I'm sorry. Let me just quickly go over this. There you go. I think now we are okay. Are we? Good? Yeah, anyway. So yeah, if you have a close-up scene and you have a source of light coming from the other side, but it's just one side and you want to light, you want to have the other side of the face lit, you can just, obviously if it's a close-up, you can always use this tiny, small, quite resistant. Got a small bag as well, which is great. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video on how to light a scene on the budget, on the cheapest way possible that I found. For more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.